Yeah. Hello, I'm Rippy.
Hi, I'm Sapphire.
Oh, and I suppose I'm bryonato. Hello.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I know. You're speedrunning the intros. I'm so excited for this race between y'all. How are y'all feeling?
Oh, as ready as I'll ever be.
There's definitely the nerves, but there's also the excitement. Can't say which one's winning out right now.
Well, I know for me personally, I am so I'm beyond happy to be commentating this. I feel like I've been watching y'all both grow as runners for so long at this point. So it's very, very cool to have the privilege to commentate y'all. So I guess unless y'all have anything else to say for your intro, I think feel free to count us down and get us going.
I'm ready for a countdown.
I'm ready. Bri, do you wanna give us a countdown?
I'm gonna give you the countdown. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, best of luck to the both of y'all and welcome. Let me be the first to welcome y'all to the Titanfall 2 race between Rippy and Sapphire here at Frost Fatales 2025. Titanfall 2 is a super sick, super fast-paced, movement-based speedrun. And the one thing that any Titanfall fan knows I'm about to say is that this game runs on a heavily modified version of the Source engine. So basically what that means is we're going to have access to a lot of Source-based movement tech, such as air strafing and bunny hopping, which we're going to be using a ton throughout the course of the run. That's going to be thrown in along with some of Titanfall's own kind of exclusive movement mechanics, which we will cover as we get to them. We're going to see the two main movement mechanics at play here, which are both slide hopping and air strafing. Air strafing basically is a movement tech where we subvert the speed cap that would normally be in place when you hold W or holding forward by holding left and right and then moving our camera in an arc through the air. So you'll notice that a lot of the movement for both of our runners, they're going to be doing kind of a slaloming type pattern through the air in a lot of situations, or just generally moving in a curve. And then slide hopping is mechanically almost identical to bunny hopping, but we do it from a crouch position, since when we hold crouch, when we're moving a certain speed, we are able to slide. And basically, we have a little bit, we have greatly reduced ground friction, which allows us to preserve our momentum for long periods of time. And so this first level that we're in is called the Gauntlet. This is a training simulation. This is your typical, tutorial level in a modern FPS that teaches you all the mechanics. And we're going to basically just abuse all of these mechanics to our advantage because we can't die here. So we can use a ton of damage boost from either a grenade or EPG, which is the rocket launcher or otherwise, to propel us through. And it looks like both Rippy and Saf finishing the gauntlet. Oh, and Saf grabs the helmet for a little bit of swag. Oh. Okay, things we may be doing a bit of a some helmets. Yeah, we may be doing a bit of a some helmets speed run here. I know the category says any %, but Sapphire's already grabbed some of the helmets. So I don't know, maybe they're in the lead. And it looks like also we completed the challenge for the Nessie Vault. I just saw that.
Oh my god,
yes,
yay.
We got our first Nessie sighting of 2025. Way to go, everyone. Woo!
Thank y'all so much. I will definitely be sure to talk more about the Easter egg when we get there, but yeah.
Practice for nothing.
That was amazing. Good job, friends.
Thank you, everyone.
And don't stop there. We are also so close, looks like $2,500 away, if that's quick math. I hope that my math is correct. We're less than $2,500 away from unlocking the bonus game as well. I gotta see Metroid Prime running Shadow Gen. Gotta see that. So please keep the donations coming in.
I need crime to be legal.
Anyway.
Crime to be legal. I'm down for that. Do it for crime, chat.
So anyway, we have effectively wrapped up the largest part of the tutorial mission here. And now we are into probably the largest waiting period in the game, as it turns out. So a bit of a lore drop, just so everybody kind of understands what's going on. I always like to provide context to kind of what people are seeing in a speedrun, even if we're not going to be focusing too hard on the story. We are Jack Cooper, a member of the Militia, which are a rebellious military force that are fighting back against the IMC, or Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation. They're like a big hyper-capitalist corporate conglomerate that goes around this part of the galaxy known as the Frontier and takes all the resources from a bunch of planets. And so we are part of the group that is fighting back against that. And we're about to go investigate a planet that the IMC is on, They have some sort of research facility there, and basically what's going to happen to this next cutscene is we're crash landing as we're kind of falling behind enemy lines as all of our ships have been shot down. So honestly, like as annoying as this cutscene is in the speedrun, a pretty iconic and cool intro sequence, I have to say, especially with Cooper's life pod falling down through the Titanfall 2 symbol here. And I would say if Tazzle, a great time for, I would get, like, if you have a couple donations for us, now would be a great time for him.
You got it. I'm going to read some of the donations that helped make Nessie happen, and also some love for the community here. We have $10 from Marcy. Super excited to see Rippy and Sapphire play Titanfall 2. It's so fast and frantic and such a fun run to see. We have to hit that Nessie goal too, because who wouldn't want to have even more time to watch Rippy and Sapphire absolutely demolish this run?
So true.
Big agree.
We also have $100 from Viz. Saf, Rippy, Bry, love y'all, and let's get that Nessie Vault incentive met. Oh, also, Saf Gaming.
Hey, not right now, okay? Give me a couple hours, Viz, and we'll game. Viz and I always just say gaming ? Back and forth whenever we want to play games with each other.
I love that so much.
They have their own exclusive voice channel in the Titanfall 2 speedrun Discord called Saf and Viz Gaming.
Yeah.
It's great. Anyway, so again, this is a bit of a break in the cutscenes here. There's a very brief gameplay sequence that we're going to see. Basically, we're going to be doing a lot of the same movement that you saw in the Gauntlet, though with a bit of reduced gravity. We are not yet officially a pilot, which is, you know, a person that pilots the big mechs that we're going to see. And so it's you have some. Let me try and formulate these words into actual sentences. You have a bit of reduced gravity, which means that you can strafe a little bit harder, which is like kind of an interesting thing. But anyway, moving on to probably the most infamous cutscene in the beginning of this game, a cutscene that is so infamous that we actually skip it when we're doing any % runs, like for PB attempts. We have a live split integration that skips this entire cutscene, inserts that time back into the timer, and we just kind of proceed as normal. It was pretty amazing when we incorporated that into the speedrun as a community. The activity for any % like shot up. It was like a night and day difference. So it was pretty cool. For purposes of a marathon, it usually makes a bit more sense to kind of sit through this, and it gives us more time to explain a little bit of what's going on and introduce some of the characters that we'll be seeing throughout the run. And generally, it's just it makes a bit more sense, I think, for the overall flow of the run. So anyway, I want to check in with our runners really quick now that we're about, maybe have any of the the beginning of the run nerves like fallen off yet, or how are y'all doing?
No, they're still very much here.
Yeah.
I was so worried that my 18-hour bypass was gonna go anyways, even though I know the button is unchecked in live split.
Big same, but I'm actually feeling alright. I actually feel like I was more nervous for we have tournament matches, and I was in them last year. I felt like I was more nervous for those.
Ooh, okay.
I have to say, I was more nervous for any of my mock march, which is our yearly tournament series. Any of my mock march tournament matches, I was more nervous for those than I ever was for any marathon run I ever did in this game. So yeah, there's something about that, something about a race. But anyway, this cutscene, the 18-hour cutscene, we're getting introduced to our main antagonists throughout the run. They're going to be the Apex Predators. They are going to be we're going to fight pretty much all of them. They're all going to be their own individual boss fight. They are a mercenary group that was hired by the IMC to protect whatever it is that they have been working on here. And so Lastimosa, the guy that was training us in the Gauntlet, got the snot beaten out of him, and he is about to experience his last moments right up here. Then we'll be on our way. And if we have any more donations, I would say we have time for another 2 of them.
You got it. I have announcements too. This one, we have $100 from Robot's Friend. That's my, my preamble. Titanfall 2 is my comfort game and such a beautiful speed run. Let's go. So with Robot's Friend, I have to tell you all, we have a bid war open for Save or Kill Marvin. Okay? Right now, Save is in the lead with $16. But I want to ask our runners here, what do you think? Who wants to save Marvin?
So I am a Save Marvin camp. I'm a Save Marvin enjoyer simply because it is the funniest possible option.
Okay, so Saf is pro Marvin.
And
what do you think?
Completely anti-Marvin. Like the amount of times in a speedrun.
It's a robot. Why?
The amount of times in a speedrun where you're going fast, you're on PB pace for the IL for any %, whatever. you're like, yes, I've got the best line ever, and a Marvin just appears in front of you, and it's like, you have to go around, or you bonk on the Marvin and you lose all your speed.
Yes.
No, I think Marvin should be wiped out.
Marvins have been done. I promise y'all in chat, Marvins have done irreparable harm to speedrunners of this game. Okay. So we need to save the frames, kill the Marvin. Love you so much, Saf, but also you're a right mouse button jumper, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Them's fighting words.
Bringing my input into this. Wow.
So when we put on the helmet here at the beginning of BT, this is when I really consider that the run starts. You're going to see a frag boost right out of the gate here from Rippy. The frag boosts are not going to be like what you see in the Gauntlet. We can actually die to those now, so every single frag boost that either runner is going to be doing is going to be much more calculated, usually with some form of a setup or audio cue that goes along with them. So this level, this is our kind of the intro level to the game, more or less, BT7274, which is named after the Titan that we will be getting in later. Also, Saf, I saw that helmet collection, by the way, and I really appreciate that. We only have a single jump right now. We will eventually have access to a double jump, but right now the game is still telling us that our jump kit, which is basically a little jetpack that sits on our back that allows us to do most of these aerial maneuvers, is calibrating. So every single jump that we take right now is going to be a lot more risky, if that makes any sense, than any other jump we do otherwise, because there's a lot of weird geometry that is all throughout this game, and especially in this level. Every single one of these rocks that you see contains like an angle that we can bonk on and lose a bunch of speed on. And so now, once we get to Prowler Pad over here on Rippy's screen, you will see that we have our double jump, and we officially have access to our full movement kit. And what you'll notice is that we're also, we have wall running. We're jumping off of walls. There is a million different ways that speedrunners can interact with walls in this game, or just players of the game in general. And I'll get to what are called wall kicks and crouch kicks in just a second here. But what we're about to see on Rippy's screen is another mechanic known as a slant boost, or a variation of it, in this case known as the slant shot. If you are sliding or you interact with a sharply angled surface, you'll get a pretty massive speed boost, and you'll see that again up on Saf's screen right about now. Oh, and the checkpoint.
I want to hit it.
Yeah, heard that. So if you will see you will see the slant shot over on Sapphire's screen.
Now,
to talk more about some of the wall mechanics in the game, because they're going to be really, really important here as we head into the most difficult section of the game, known as, or this level, I should say, known as Ravine. Basically, a wall kick is when you jump off a wall after making instantly upon making contact with it. And if you do it at the right amount of time, or if you do it within a short enough amount of time, you'll get a speed boost from it, which is really nice that we have a speedometer on screen. You can see the instant returns you get from a wall kick. And so Rippy, that's a really, really nice ravine going all the way through. And this is a pretty tough section with a bunch of enemies and a bunch of debris here. And Rippy has navigated it pretty well. And now we're going to see Saf coming up on ravine as well. This is looking real nice. I'm clapping at home. That's two really, really good ravines from both runners. That is seriously such a hard segment to navigate, especially with some of the angles that a wall kick can send you off of. So that's awesome. As for what we're doing on this level, as far as like an objective goes, we need to get these batteries to install back into BT to get them back up to full power. So we already collected one. Rippy has collected another. We're going to see another one of those slant boosts coming up here. And Rippy grabbed a sniper rifle, which is going to be used for a very particular strat here. We're going to take a late couple wall kicks to try and get up on top of the arch. Okay, not quite able to get there, so Rippy's going to have to back this up.
And out of grenades as well.
Oh, out of grenades is tough. Out of grenades is tough. Still able to get that done, though, and we have a straggler. There we go. Got the battery installed. Some little bit of time for Saf to catch up here, too. And so with that, we are more or less through the very difficult portion of BT7274. For being the second mission in the run, absolutely one of the hardest missions in the run, without a doubt. So very nice to see both of our runners get through there. Well, I would say relatively unscathed, aside from like a checkpoint revert to go for a cool strat. So
accidentally got rid of my bolt.
Oh, you just have the P2016 now? Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's right back where you left it.
Yeah.
That's so convenient. So one of the reasons I say that like Titanfall is kind of like one of the GOAT speed games, especially of the last like decade, is like it's you know, it's a mech game. Like, you get to pilot a mech, though, like, most of the time. Like, it's really, really cool. And so we're being introduced to our friendly Titan, BT7274. He's going to be our companion, or at least, I mean, we're going to leave him behind a lot, but he is going to be our companion for the majority of the run.
He's there for moral support, you know?
He's still a friend.
Yeah.
He's definitely still a friend. He's got our back for sure. This section we refer to as Titan tutorial. We're just going to be learning a lot about the mechanics of how Titans work in this game. Basically, every Titan has their own like ability kit. You can think of it as like a character from any sort of like hero shooter, you know, where they want to say like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch or whatever. They're all going to have different abilities with strengths and weaknesses. And so we're being introduced to the base one called Expedition. Anyway, while we get through this is a pretty slow trot through the rest of the level. Hazel, if you got any more donations for us.
Absolutely. We have some donations coming in for that Kill and Save Marvin incentive. We have $10 from Talia, which just says kill.
Yes.
Yes.
I also want to point out, chat, that we are less than 300 away from that 68K raised for the National Women's Law Center, which means that we are less than 2,500 away from our milestone extra game at the end of this run. Chat, I have to tell you, we only have about an hour to get there, but I believe in you. I know we can do it. If met, Crime is going to play Shadow in Shadow X Generations. And let me tell you, reasons why you should donate. Shadow the Hedgehog is cool. You know what else is cool, chat? Crime. How about your donations? Why don't you tell me why Crime is cool? Wrong answers only.
Perfect. Yeah, chat, it is after this run, so it is like, it's time to go. We definitely got to go now. Please get your donations in for, especially for such an amazing cause like the National Women's Law Center. So here we go off to Blood and Rust. This is really just another series of extremely difficult levels at the beginning of this game. Rippy is going for a incredibly difficult strat, and depending on who you ask, it has a different name. For now, we'll just refer to it as Visembark. Sorry, S Deception. This is a strat that you're going to see a lot of strats like this that revolve around being in your Titan being slow. Unfortunately, BT is really slow, so anytime that we're able to abandon him and do a bunch of damage boosts to do these really high-flying maneuvers, it is only going to benefit us. A lot of these strats are really high risk, but also really, really high reward. And you can see a little bit of the risk here on Sapphire's screen, as we were talking about. Fortunately, the checkpoint just kind of brings us right back to the start of the level, which is kind of an easy reset to refresh and go again. And here's another frag boost on Rippy's screen. You're going to be seeing a lot of these as the run continues on. Blood and Rust is a very difficult level within Titanfall 2. Much different than BT. BT was difficult because a lot of the weird like geometry and rocks and bumps everywhere. Blood and Rust is a bunch of really, really, really tight corridors and very tight hallways, which we have to use a unique mechanic to Titanfall 2 in order to navigate them efficiently. I mentioned air strafing before, but Titanfall 2 also has a mechanic known as Strafe Lurch, which allows us to do a mechanic that we refer to as tap strafing. So anytime you jump and press a directional key within, roughly a half a second after jumping, you will like move in that direction, but more so than you might think, you will like do a jarring lurch in that direction. You like physically move partially in that direction. Oh, as Rippy is collecting the Nessie Vault bottles, by the way, I already forgot that we're doing the Nessie Vault.
I almost forgot as well.
I know, yeah, you're going to see Rippy taking some slight detours from the normal like any percent round, if you're familiar with that, because we have to collect these sake bottles in order to unlock the Easter egg. A fun fact about this Easter egg is that it was the last Easter egg that was basically left undiscovered within Titanfall 2, and once the devs kind of gave the community a clue as for, like, where to be looking, and it was probably like a good like 2-day search or something like that, that eventually we ended up finding all of these little sake bottles that you're seeing on the ground, with the last one being right up here. So pay attention to Rippy's screen, because we are about to enter the Nessie Vault.
Yes, Vault Hype. You donated for it. It's coming up.
So it takes you to this little chamber with these Nessies. The one of them turns around and you get teleported back up here. It's such a cool Easter egg. A very cute and adorable character that Respawn has put in almost all of their games. Oh, and and Rippy grabbing the EPG. EPG Revolution 2025. That's all I have to say about that. So a huge skip coming up now on Rippy's screen. We are going to be talking to BT, which is one of the rare times that we're actually going to do that. And we want BT to be standing next to that fence that you may have seen him behind just now. And basically, as long as he's standing there, we will be able to embark while he's standing there. And that skips a huge fight sequence. There's usually like 5+ minutes of a fight that you have to do here. And fortunately, with that skip known as sled skip, we're able to skip literally all of it. It is a massive time save. Definitely one of the most important skips in the run. And one of the oldest skips in the run. That was one of the first ones. I want to say Blood Thunder found that back in like 2016, right after the game came out. So pretty cool. I'm excited.
I just want to shout out again that we have that. I just want to shout out again. We have the robot save and kill Marvin incentive open. So chat, that is going to end about 45 minutes into the run. And I just want to share, another little tidbit about this robot. Okay, so Marvin is a robot that a person temporarily put in charge, but forgot to relieve. So Marvin has been in command doing his robot best for a very long time. So keep that in mind. You kill Marvin donators, which is currently in the lead at $45. Perhaps you want to save Marvin because Marvin has been working so hard. And all those donations will also go towards that milestone incentive, which we need to get met by the end of this run, chat. We gotta see Crime play Shadow X Generation.
Nessie Vault Part 2.
Yay!
Yay! This is such a cool
Nessie
thing.
Vault!
I love it so much.
Such a
on the
great
topic. On the topic of that Marvin, who has been working for all eternity, think about this. If you choose to let the Marvin live, they will be forced to work their entire life, and they won't have any say in the matter, Like, they will effectively just be doomed to a lifetime of work.
They're not very
which
good
I
at the job. They're like half on, half off.
Right, but did they personally ask to be deactivated, though?
Did they ask to be put to work for all eternity?
Do they have a voice module or even a reasoning, sense of reason?
These are good questions, chat. Maybe you can tell us with your donations.
So anyway, please tell us with your donations. I would love to hear. I would love to hear more about that. I realized I'm not sure if I finished up my talking about strafe lurch. I did want to wrap that up as we were about to head into Abyss Chapter 1 on Rippy screen. So basically, that strafe lurch mechanic I mentioned, you can stack those lurches and basically take like 90-degree corners with basically little to no speed loss, which would otherwise be impossible in Titanfall 2, which is a game that has low air acceleration, as it's called, which means that we can't turn our camera super fast without losing speed. So anyway, what we're seeing on Rippy's screen now is a great example of how the Titanfall run has evolved, especially in the last couple years. Any single time that we would otherwise be running in BT for the most part, we will be just abandoning him and doing a lot of this pilot movement. And this strat in particular was a huge, a huge project that had been kind of theorized for a very long time, and it wasn't until a lot of the Zoomers, as we refer to them, came around and really started routing this out. So I believe Robert was a huge architect for this skip in particular, but basically we're using that moving platform to push us out of bounds, and we are officially out of bounds now, if you couldn't tell.
I want to say that we're officially really close to $69,000 because we just got a $1,000 anonymous donation that went to Save Marvin.
Are you
which is
kidding
now
me?
in the lead. Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
That's right.
Are you serious?
That's
yes,
right.
let's go, chat. Let's go. So that's $1,016 for Save Marvin to kill Marvin 215. Good job, chat. You rock.
I mean, thanks for the $1,000, but man,
I know I'm eating good tonight. To all those Save Marvin enthusiasts.
We do also have this $100 from Dalf32. Thank you so much for your donation. And it reads, Marvin must die.
there we go. Okay. I'm about to donate to kill the Marvin. I'm not even gonna lie. Anyway,
$12 from 69,000. Let's go.
oh, we are almost there. Oh, I'm just watching that thing. Yeah, I'm just watching that climb up. Holy moly! And man, if we're only going to be about $1,000 away, we are just knocking on the door of that bonus game. We can get that met so easily, so easily.
I believe in you, chat. And Crime has been working so hard on this game. This is a modern game, chat. It only came out in October 2024. Crime started speedrunning this game before it officially came out because Crime was so invested and it released early for pre-orders that she has been playing ever since. So let's get this bonus game for Crime.
Oh, I already see Rippy also doing a some helmet speedrun. Things you love to see.
I can't lose in terms of swag points. I need a style.
So now Saf is going for this Abyss 1 intro strat that I was talking about. Into the Abyss, this is a very difficult series of levels. There is a massive like assembly line that is being built around us, and we're gonna have to kind of carefully navigate a bunch of these moving parts and moving walls. This is Saf, this is sick. It's really good.
Thank you.
Anyway,
I love having an Eva here.
yes. Oh, it's so nice. I bet. Yeah, if you're running the IL, you really don't get an Eva there at all. So you'll see it on both screens here. On Rippy's screen in Abyss Chapter 2 as well, you're seeing more of kind of like the assembly line at play. An unfortunate thing about the Abyss Chapter 2 is that it's a big auto-scroller, which is why you're going to see Rippy just kind of able to take her time going from point to point here. What we're really trying to do is just, we're trying to reach this final kind of staging area of this assembly line that we can just hop on and ride that to effectively almost the end of the level. We have like tried to figure out a skip for at least some of the auto-scroller portion of this, and I believe some of it has been done RTA, but there's still like massive portions of it that we still kind of have to wait through. But yeah, this has kind of like been the what would you call it? The holy grail of skips in Titanfall for a long time has been trying to find a way to skip Abyss Chapter 2, because it's effectively like a big, almost 5-minute auto-scroller minus one thing that more or less or entirely determines your time here.
Yes, we just got to $69,013 raised for the National Women's Law Center. Let's go, chat. Less than 1K to go for that bonus game. I'm so excited.
No, and at this point I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get there. I'm super stoked. Please keep the donations coming in, y'all.
We also have more donations for Marvin. $50 from Jay Brunter. I heard Crime is good. Time for Marvin to go. That's a great reason why Crime is good. Chat, thank you for that.
That's actually a great reason why Crime is good. Yeah, if you consider killing Marvin to be a crime, please do that crime. Please do that crime.
That's a sanctioned crime.
Yes.
Just like the crime that will be running the milestone game when we reach 70K.
Do we have a blue win on your screen, Rippy? Did I see that right?
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, no, Brett's still alive.
Brett's still alive.
This is a little mini game we like to play during Abyss Chapter 2 is we can hack one of these robots and then make them fight the other one. We call it red versus blue. Usually we'll all like place bets on who's going to win. Anyway, Rippy is going to be setting up for an extremely difficult skip coming up here. Definitely one of the coolest tricks in the run by far. You may have noticed this a bit earlier on Rippy's screen, but when you jump off a moving platform, and you'll actually be able to see this a little bit on Saf's screen as well. When you jump off a moving platform, you preserve a lot of that momentum. And that applies to like upward momentum, downwards momentum, and also forward and backward. And so Rippy is standing at a very precise point on this moving platform here, and they're going to do a crazy setup to try and do a strat called Railgun, which I will just kind of let speak for itself here. Good luck. This looks good. Nice! That's a first try railgun. Let's go, Rippy.
Let's go, Rippy.
My
Let's go,
God.
Rippy.
That was so sick. Yeah, that is an extremely difficult strat. About as high risk, high reward as it gets. And now even after that, you have to do this wild climb to try and get up here and get in front of this platform before it starts raising up, because we do need to hit a trigger at the very top of this climb here. Rippy, I'm clapping. That was really, really good. That strat is unbelievably hard. Like I don't go for that in runs. It is super risky.
Probably my most nervous strat, because it's definitely like one of the riskiest.
Clapping in my heart, Rippy.
Yeah, it's extremely touchy. It's a really touchy strat. When you're going like 180 plus kilometers an hour, it is incredibly difficult to control your character in this game. So another big skip coming up here as well. This is called Dome Skip. As it turns out, there are just some like holes in the geometry on this like dome. Normally you would wait for everything to be assembled and then you would have like kind of a big wave fight that would happen here, but there are several gaps in the geometry and several different points that we can just use those to get out of bounds and then stand in a specific area. So this area that Rippy is standing in, you'll see the screen is going to go black, and when it goes black, we're actually getting teleported to a separate dome, which Rippy is shooting at, which is where the fight would actually happen. But by standing in this position, when we get teleported, we get teleported literally on top of the end level trigger. Again, this is another really old skip, and this one had a cool history too. We used to do the skip entirely differently. And then a level designer for this level saw Angry Albino and I's submission for SGDQ 2017, which feels like 3 lifetimes ago at this point. And they were like, hey, by the way, you can like do that skip a little bit faster. And they didn't quite tell us why, but they gave us some clues, and then Task and Oz ended up figuring it out. So pretty cool.
You know what else is pretty cool? We're less than $800 away from the Sonic X Shadow Generations run. At the end of this run, let's go, chat. I love it. I love that you're going this fast, chat. Let's go. Let's beat it. I hear that Crime has something very special to show off for the run, like visually on camera. So, you know, just another reason why you want to get those donations in to meet that Sonic X Shadow Generations run. We also still have that bid war open. Save Marvin is even higher. $1,110 for Save Marvin if you want to get on that Kill Marvin train.
How much does Kill have right now?
265. It's always one donation away, Bri. Always one donation away. It can change. Lickety split.
That's true. As we saw before.
Absolutely.
So coming up on Rippy's screen here, this is going to be one of the most newly implemented strats in all of Titanfall. This is actually an old strat that Robert 3D found. Robert 3D is one of our many like kind of like glitch lords of this game, and
I love it.
They've been like very responsible. They've been like responsible for a lot of the modern innovations in this game. So they found it some years ago. No, maybe not some years ago. They found it a while ago. It wasn't really used, and then Chill Spirit ended up routing in this strat that we're going to use at the end of it. It's a really cool. It's not going to be like any version of Ash skip you've seen before. We actually call it the Ash skip. That's D''Ash because we're going to use a dash to skip Ash. So we call it. So it's called dash skip because we use a dash. So anyway,
awesome.
So we're gonna leave an electric smoke here to try and block Ash from coming up and basically using her big sword at us. And we're taking a precise lineup and trying to get into this wall so we get a dash at a specific angle. We disembark and we immediately clip out of bounds, which allows us to progress forward and skip the entirety of Ash's fight. I was trying to be quiet there for that frag boost. And basically from here, we can just climb over this kind of weird and kind of janky invisible geometry and use that to skip the entirety of the fight. It's really cool. One of my favorite new strats. I'm a big fan of the Ash skip.
It is a really cool strat.
Yes.
And it's also less risky than some of the other strats as well, I feel like.
I would agree.
Less likely to be blocked.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot more, a lot more forgiving than others. So you probably noticed on Rippy's screen that she quit to menu and then loaded in from mission select. So the reason for this is that, you know, we've been getting out of BT a lot and doing a bunch of stuff on foot. What that means is we haven't been collecting a lot of the other Titan kits, or Titan loadouts, I should say. Normally speaking, when you're playing this game casually, you pick up several different Titan loadouts throughout the run, and as I described earlier, those are kind of like, different like hero shooter characters. You know, they all have different abilities and stuff, and we need some of those Titan loadouts in order to do specific tricks, especially later on. So by quitting, by basically as soon as we unlock Effect and Cause Chapter 1, we quit the menu and then load back in. And when we load back in, we are given kind of like a predetermined loadout that the game expects that casual players would have. kind of up to this point. So that's a way for us to circumvent having to actually go and collect all those manually. And so this mission that Rippy is on right now, Effect and Cause Chapter 1, is definitely the coolest mission in this game casually. This is the research facility that we were talking about earlier. This is why the militia came to this planet, to figure out what was going on here. And basically, something catastrophic has happened here, and there are time fluctuations, and things are happening. And I know for a fact that Rippy is about to go collect these other 2 helmets to continue to build her tally in her some helmets speedrun. Which, of course, is the main thing that we're doing. Yes.
Is there a category for helmets?
Yes, actually. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's the main category I've been running. It's called All Helmets. It's the GOAT category. It's awesome. Everybody should run all helmets. It's super cool.
I love it.
I agree as well. I was doing all helmets before this mission.
Do you have time for a couple donations?
Absolutely.
I just want to shout this out because we only have about 10 minutes until our Save Kill Marvin bid war ends. So we have some donations coming in for that one. We have $20 from Insomnia. Shoutouts to my GOAT. Titanfall 2 has to be my second favorite mech-based game behind Alpaca Stacka. All my homies hate Marvin. Thank you for that donation.
Thank you.
I'm about Alpaca Stacka?
Alpaca Stacka. I actually had to look it up.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah, you need to,
It's such
please.
a cute game. Like, you can complete it in like a minute and a half as a speedrun.
Is it actually a mech game?
No.
Okay.
No, I think that's a joke. That part was a joke, but they're definitely alpacas. It looks like you stack a.
Yeah, because with mechs, it's like very like the kind of like the meme is like they combine, right? But with Alpaca Stacker, you can stack a bunch of chicks on your back, kind of like a cool mech. So,
okay.
You know
like
what?
the
I don't
parallel.
see any. You know what? I can't argue with that logic. It's a mech game.
You know what? I want to hear now, just because of the whole alpaca stack thing. Chat, I want to hear what your favorite thing to stack is. Like, what is the best thing to stack? I know that this is very open-ended, so I'm looking forward to you enlightening me on the best thing to stack with your donations, please.
One of my favorite things to stack is coffee table books on my coffee table.
You know, that's a reasonable thing to stack. That's a very safe choice, though, Bri. That's a very safe choice.
It's a safe
Like, how
choice.
high is this stack? You know what I mean? Because, like, books, they stack very, you know, they're not easily disruptive.
So the height of the stack is what determines the danger of it.
Well, it depends.
Is what you're saying.
It depends the object. Like, the object could determine the danger. The height could determine the danger. And the material also that it's stacked on top of. These are all important things.
Oh, Saf, I'm going to be so real. I have no idea why this isn't working.
Dude, I don't
there we
know.
go.
I have been fighting
I just had to
for
say
my
something, I
life
guess.
over here. I'm just like sitting in silence, like
That's good.
to Ash, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ash skip.
The Ash hates Sapphire.
It must have been like 7 or 8 times in a row that I was like, yep, that's going to work.
Really?
And then it didn't work.
Thought.
Yeah, I am just as perplexed as you if it makes you feel any better.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're out of the abyss. That's all that matters.
All right, chat. I'm going to be so real. I've looked over at the donation total a couple of times now, and it hasn't moved. We need to the bryonato happiness meter. Not that this is not to make this all about me or anything, but the bryonato happiness meter is going down, and you don't want to. We've talked about this many times before. You don't want to see it reach critical levels.
Wait, I have a question. Would the happiness meter go up if more donations went towards Kill Marvin?
Well,
Yes,
the more
big
donations
time.
in general, but especially if they went toward
period,
Kill
yeah.
Marvin. Yeah, yeah.
Because we do have $10 from Marlo Doby. I don't know who Marvin is, but I feel strongly he should die.
Yes.
There we go. Now we're talking.
All right, so chat, work on that bryonato happiness meter. It increases with your donations, but especially if they go towards Kill Marvin.
I mean, I'll be honest. Even if you put it towards Save the Marvin, it's still going to go up. Number go up. You know.
I really just want one stacking donation, chat. Like, I really do. It'll make my night if you can give me at least one favorite thing to stack. I will be thrilled.
So anyway, I guess you know what to talk about Titanfall again for a bit.
Yes, this wonderful game.
I'm going to be quiet for an audio cue here.
We all good.
All good. Cool. So on Rippy's screen, we're about to enter one of the most difficult rooms in the entire game. It's called Hell Room. which is named both for its color and the difficulty of some of the strats at play here. There are a lot of necessary triggers that you have to hit in this room. So the route that we take through here is, you know, somewhat intentional, but also very precise to make sure that we hit these triggers. And you have to really carefully navigate through here, as the platforms will actually change as you use this time swap mechanic that is present in here. And now coming up is one of the coolest strats in the entire game. It's called Snuggle Slide. Oh, you could, yeah, okay, you're gonna go for it again. This is a strat that is so complicated in how it works mechanically that Zweek has an entire like 20-minute YouTube video on it. It is so sick. You go onto this bridge, you slide on it. Even though the bridge is sliding toward you, you just get accelerated immediately to 150 kilometers an hour. You can use that speed to slingshot your way all the way through this hallway. It is so sick. Nicely done. Snuggle Slide, one of my favorite strats, of course, found by the infamous Snuggle Pug Hug. They have a couple strats aimed after them. Saf, what do we got going on over there?
Oh, I was drawing a heart with FF in it because I
cute.
love frame fatales, and you should send all of your money to the National Women's Law Center.
I also love
agree.
frame fatales. I agree. I agree with this person.
Yes, and Anonymous, who donates $20 for great runs, great charity drive. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are
Another-
less than $700 away, by the way, for that milestone
Yes.
bonus
Let's
game.
go.
Let's go,
Now we're
chat.
Yep, less
You can
than
do it.
700.
I'm staying up late just to watch this run, guys. Please don't let me down.
Yeah,
My
Saf, didn't
bedtime's
you
8
take the
o'clock.
day off? Didn't you take the day off just so you could watch this run?
Maybe. Yeah,
so there you
my
go.
bedtime's at 8 o'clock, so...
Do it for Crime, do it for Saf. Let's go, friends.
BT.
Another great example of what we're going to see on Rippy's screen here of kind of how Titanfall has evolved over the years is the fact that just everybody goes for ship skip now.
I'll be leaving that
Oh,
stat.
I'm so sorry.
Wait,
I'm
Rippy
so-
didn't go for shit. Wait, did you actually go for it?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Cool. Yeah, no.
Also, a bit of a flashing lights warning coming out.
Oh, word. I'm so sorry, Rippy. I thought for sure you were going for that. That's my bad.
I'm just not consistent enough in
okay.
runs. In ILs, I'll send it, but
Word.
yeah, the
Just
flashing
to remind
lights are about to appeal.
I'll go for ship skip, I promise. You guys will still get to see it.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of getting to watch two people play Titanfall is you get to see differences in strat choice, and also you just get to see more Titanfall, which I think is pretty cool in general.
I'm a fan. I've been known to be.
That's been one of my favorite things, coming into this race is I kind of mentioned it at the start. I've been watching both Rippy and Sapphire for quite a long time, especially recently. And it's been super cool just to kind of get super familiar with both their play styles, strats they like to go for, strats they don't like to go for, which apparently I don't know some of them. But there is such one of the most beautiful things about Titanfall is the agency given to the player and the amount of skill expression that there is in this game. Like, it is so easy to figure out, kind of like, especially if you're looking at top runners, like I could instantly tell you when I'm watching like a Bladen clip or a clipboard guy clip or a Dadadoo clip, because everybody just plays this game just that little bit differently. Because this game is so based on like feel and intuition. It's really, really fun to watch people play through this game in their own way. So what's happening on Rippy's screen here is speaking of really, really, really old strats, this was found by Tron Javolta all the way back in like 2017, and it's pretty simple. Basically, you are completing all of the checks that the game would require you to do to advance the mission before it even checks for the first time, and so it ends up skipping about 45 seconds of dialogue between BT and these friendly militia folks that are otherwise trapped inside this building. This sequence of missions is called the Beacon, and the Beacon Chapter 1, 2, and 3, I would say in general, are the Beacon in general is just like, probably the hardest. It's probably the hardest like single mission in the game if you want to look at it from a broad perspective.
I would
like
definitely agree with that.
Beacon 1 is
Beacon
pretty
2 and
simple,
3.
but Beacon 2 and 3 are wild. And if you have never seen a speedrun of Titanfall 2 before, you have got to stick around for the Beacon Chapter 3. It is easily the thing that, in my opinion, makes Titanfall like the best speed game. Like, it's just It's so
how
cool.
it hooks people in. That part alone. Chat, you're going to watch this and then you're going to go and download Titanfall 2 and start playing immediately. Like, it's very exciting.
Sorry, I had to throw that nade. I got lost.
I was wondering about that too, so I love
Yeah,
that.
no, I got lost.
That's something I feel like that's happened to me many times is I'm doing a strat and then I kind of forget what I'm doing and then I do like half of 2 different strats and neither of them work. Yo, nice snuggle slide, first try.
Oh my god.
I
I double jumped. Oh.
I'm so excited to report that we're less than $300 away, but even more excited to report that the stacking donations are coming in.
I'm so happy for you,
stacking
Tazzle.
donation. I'm so happy. Chat, you're the best. I have to read these. We have $25 from Sarah of Mars. It's not me stacking it, but my favorite stack is a bird standing on another bird's head. Best stack. Also, save the robot.
Yay.
Alternatively, we have $15 from Sylphie. I enjoy
the
stacking the
incentive.
corpses of fallen Marvins.
I will need the incentive, actually. I forgot about that.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh, we're at the Beacon chapter 2, so like the cutoff is here, basically. Yeah. Tazzle, what's the winner? I think we all know, but
All right, so I need you to like hold on to your bryonato happy meter
It's
and
fine.
try not to let. Okay, good, because it's saved the Marvin by a landslide. Great
yeah,
job.
I mean the $1,000 donation. So
Great job, chat. You're
Great
amazing.
job.
Over $1,500 raised right there.
So we're
To
saving the
save
Marvin. We're not killing him. But now
He's
look, you've
sad.
made him sad.
You made him sad.
Look at how sad he is. Who's gonna come save him? There's no humans here. You just doomed him to a lifetime of sadness.
Hey, maybe not.
So good job.
That's
You know
spoilers,
what,
though.
though?
You know what
you
else
know
is gonna happen? You know what else is gonna happen? This entire planet's gonna blow up. Is what's gonna happen at the end of this game.
Whoa.
So now, so basically,
Spoilers.
what's the last thing he's gonna be before the planet blows up? Sad. He's gonna be sad.
Also, you missed ship too. You're crashing out over the Marvin.
This is the worst day of my life.
But look, we've got some lovely donations to cheer you up, and they're about stacking
I do
things,
see that
okay?
we're at we're really close to 70K. Like we're really
We're so
close.
close. You know what? I just got to read a few more of these because I want all the stacking donations. We have $25 from Stephen Love. I love to stack coffee mugs. It's especially satisfying to stuff as many as possible into a cabinet. Yes. We also have $10 from Viz. The best thing to stack is a set of D&D dice because even if it falls over, you get to roll a bunch of dice, which is absolutely a no-lose situation.
He's right about that one.
That is
Biz,
true.
I hope your new game has been going well.
You know, what I love to stack, another thing I like to stack, and this is relevant to Titanfall, I love to stack Strafe Lurch because stacking Strafe
Yeah.
Lurch allows you to tap Strafe and spam Strafe and Fizzy Strafe, which I think is really cool. So I like to stack Strafe Lurch.
I like to stack more donations to the National Women's Law
good
Center.
segue.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Yeah.
that. There we go.
We definitely have those too, like $10 from Underclocked Ostrich. I like to stack anything I can on my roommate's head. He sits as still as possible, and I just put boxes, controllers, bottles, and sometimes even an Eevee plushes on him.
Oh yeah, I also want to mention I like it when Sprinkle Theory stacks hats on her head.
I also have an EV plushie behind me somewhere. I can't point at
That's
it because
great.
I'm controlling, but I can grab my Sylveon plushie right here.
Forgot I had a flatline here. This is I don't like this. I'm not used to having a flatline here. I normally have the Spitfire.
Dude, Nex told me to use the flatline here, and it was the best advice Nex has ever given me, I have to say. Shout out Nex Racer, by the way.
Less than $240 to go. We're so close, friends. Let's get that bonus game.
A question that I saw in chat that I actually wanted to ask really quick, because, you know, it is relevant to Titanfall. How do you recommend someone start learning Titanfall 2 speedrunning? You know, as everyone else says, join our Discord. We have a lot of tutorial resources in there, and this is a really, really easy game to pick up. It's very linear, and it's very easy to tell where you're supposed to go, point A to point B. You can play the game casually, learn like 2 skips, those probably being like, you know, dome skip, sludge skip, and then like maybe door skip. And honestly, you could just be good to go. Like, you don't have to know a bunch of stuff in order to run this game. It's it was very, very easy to learn, and it has the best learning curve. And also, if you get good at the game, you can do stuff like you're about to see coming up here on Rippy's screen. This is one of the greatest strats in speedrunning, like, of all time. It requires a little bit of setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this Titan ability that allows us to hover.
No.
And once we can wedge ourselves into a position where we can disembark while hovering, which is, you're not supposed to be able to do this, but if we kind of put ourselves in the right part of the store, sometimes it takes a little bit of finagling, we can disembark while we're hovering. And what happens is that causes our gravity, our player gravity, to be reduced by around 15%. Why exactly this happens, I don't actually know. I can't give you the specific technical details on that, but it does happen. And so you can tell we're a lot floatier now. And so what BT is saying is, hey, our objective is way the flip over there. So I'm going to have to throw you, which is a normal thing that happens. And what we found out, thanks to a QA tester at Respawn, is that if you hold jump while BT is about to throw you, you will do a frame-perfect jump off of BT's hand while retaining your double jump with the reduced gravity. So Rippy, good luck, and folks, I hope you enjoy Super Fastball. Nice.
Don't quite have the speed, Rip.
Oh, good try.
I might
good
do
try.
it again.
Yeah,
We'll go
yeah,
for
yeah.
one more attempt.
I would say send it. One of the most difficult aspects of the strat is that we need to grab these gravity stars, which are in that little crate right there. And then we're going to use all of that speed all the way through this crane section, just doing these slide hops off the thinnest of surfaces. That was a really nice backup, by the way. I saw that.
Yeah,
that
I
was
side jumped, so I had to pivot.
That was like a really nice option select. Yeah. And so these gravity star, that was excellent, by the way. Sorry. Oh my God. That was super fastball. I know that the trick isn't all the way over, so I'm, kind of like withholding my. I love you for that. I'm withholding my applause. But that is super fastball. And we're only about halfway done, because now Rippy has to go all the way back to where BT was, and we're going to be doing a very, very, very cool strat that has many different names. I believe the variation that Rippy will be going for is known as the Tesco meal deal. So let's see how it goes here. We need to get a pretty big launch off of this platform. That looks good. And so what we're doing is we're jumping all the way over a big fight trigger that would normally occur here, and we're kind of hitting these triggers out of order. So we've hit the trigger for the fight that's under this dish, and now we're going to use this grav star to jump all the way back to this building. And so we've hit the triggers for the fight out of order here. And basically what this causes is it's kind of like a trigger overlap. And so normally in this fight, there would be like a mandatory 30 to 45 second waiting period or so. I believe the way that this fight works is like it's either after all the enemies are dead or after 45 seconds have transpired or something. And basically what hitting these triggers in reverse order does is it completely circumvents that time limit that would otherwise be in place there. So that was awesome. It's a very, very, very cool strat, and it's also incredibly difficult. Launching off of that platform and getting that amount of height and that speed at that time, as somebody that has been, kind of learning how to do this with frag grenades rather than the gravity stars, is like, it's so difficult. It's so precise, and I am really impressed that you nailed that first try. So that was incredible.
Thank you.
You have time for a few announcements?
Yeah, let's hear him.
Okay, I've got to get all the stacking ones in because I'm just the happiest person right now. We have $5 from Anonymous. I don't particularly enjoy stacking this, but I play a dangerous game of stacking all my craft supplies, yarn, ink, pins in my room. I have the dangerous, I stack those everywhere myself, a huge stack under the bed to hide from someone so they don't think I'm wild with power of my art supplies. Thank you for that donation. We also have this $10 from Mech Warrior 3. I don't know who this Marvin is, but sounds like he needs Captain Picard to argue for his rights as a sentient being. As for stacking, I love stacking pancakes. Chocolate chip pancakes, to be precise. Thank you for holding such an awesome event. Y'all are crushing it. Let's go. Frame Fatales. Let's go. GDQ.
Stacking pancakes is a really good answer.
It is a really good answer. Yeah, I want more stacking, good answers about stacking. I mean, they're all good for me, but yeah, stack those donations on the way to 70K, which we are less than $200 away from. That is for the bonus game Sonic X. I can never say it. Shadow Generations. It's like a tongue twister for me. I want you all to know.
It's a little bit difficult to say. I'm with you there.
I did. I put my 3-year-old in a Gotta Go Fast Sonic shirt this morning to go to daycare in just for this run. So, you know, those last $187, I would like to think, let's donate for my toddler Babbins because, you know, he even represented the Sonic this morning, chat. So come on, let's go. 70K. Let's do it.
And man, I'll tell you what, the best thing about watching two people play Titanfall is now we get to watch Saf do super fastball, and I think that's sick that we get to watch the best trick in speedrunning once again.
And this is like Sonic.
I call this the best trick in speedrunning, and we haven't even gotten to Andy Shot. Chat, you're going to love Andy Shot. There's just so many cool things. There's so much to love about Titanfall as a speedrun.
I love this part so much.
It's in what other speed game do you get thrown by your mech friend at over 100 kilometers an hour and then carry that speed over the course of the next like 45 seconds? Like, it's so cool. Nice. Wait, could you have a double jump? Okay.
I'm just gonna do that again.
It's okay, we just get to see it again.
Jump, but I don't think I would have gotten far enough.
Word.
I also didn't have the arc tool out, and so my lineup was all wonky.
I saw that you went for like a wall kick off of that, and I was like,
yes.
that was a very I don't know. I have a lot of respect for you going for that as a save, as a swag save.
Didn't have enough height. I knew that, so I was just gonna attempt. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Dude, you are like millimeters away from the coolest backups I've ever seen.
I know. I'm very close to getting the good backups. All right, we're gonna try it one more time, and then if I don't back it up, then I will try it one more time. All right.
Nice. Ooh, the little half slide.
Oh, I got the wall kick. I got the wall kick.
Whoa!
Oh my god. Wait.
Whoa, that was so cool. The half slide into that wall kick was wild.
It's okay, because we made it past the part where I can like actually die now.
That was super sick. Chat, I just need you to know what Sapphire did was very difficult and very technical and also very cool.
That was awesome.
There's a super niche mechanic in this game called half slides, which involve you pressing crouch, like kind of as you're touching the ground from a standing state. And so it allows you to have like the versatility of a slide hop, but also you can like touch the ground a little bit earlier because your feet are extended because you're standing. It's like super situational for like things specifically like that where you're just about to go over the top of like a platform or a surface, but extending your feet down allows you to. Anyway, it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool game.
What else is cool is we're less than 150 away now. Let's go, chat. 70K, come on.
And so now Rippy is entering the final, officially entering kind of like the final act of Titanfall 2. These last 3 levels are all standalone levels. They're not like individual chapters anymore. We have Trial by Fire, the Arc, and the Fold Weapon. And all of them are just like obscenely difficult. All of them are just so hard. I think it's always kind of wild to me that Titanfall 2 ends with Beacon 3 into Trial by Fire, into the Arc, into the Fold Weapon, which are just these unbelievable levels.
It's a harsh late game.
With like so many like run killing strats. It was a cool game. I keep saying that. And so Trial by Fire, the dev name for this level was T-Day, as in Titan D-Day, and you can kind of get a sense of that here. Rippy is going for a strat that is I believe the gaining core here is called Rob Core, but then the strat itself was a strat that was discovered a long time ago that only kind of somewhat recently started being used in Titanfall runs. So basically, Rippy activated her ultimate ability that was present with a different Titan loadout and then did kind of like a frame-perfect swap to an entirely different Titan. And basically what that allows is we just kind of have this infinite state where we can just keep using our ultimate ability as long as we want, while also using a lot of the high DPS abilities that the Scorch Titan loadout would otherwise have. So while it's not necessarily, I believe it's like, you know, only marginally faster or pretty much like the same speed as not doing this strat, but it does.
Consistency.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It makes this fight way more consistent. You don't have to worry about managing cooldowns. You can just kind of point and shoot, and you don't have to like hit people in the head. You can just shoot at their feet. This level is usually super duper. I'm not gonna say super duper, but it can be pretty random at times because the first half of this mission is a big escort mission. Sarah Briggs, who is the leader of kind of like this aspect of the militia fleet that we're with right now, we have to escort her all the way to the end of this kind of like long hallway here, including through the beginning of that fight. So what Rippy is trying to do throughout this entire sequence is really managing Sarah's positioning. She's listening to various dialogue cues to get an idea of where Sarah is, and it looks like Sarah's being pretty fast, so that's good. And in the same vein as keeping Sarah, you know, not being slow, we're going to take a kind of out-of-the-way path here off to the left, which is going to skip a bunch of triggers that would otherwise spawn in a bunch of additional Titans for us to fight here. So I believe we call this strat like triggerless. And so now we've skipped all the triggers, and Sarah should be running just like straight ahead. And now we are moving on to the second half of the level, which is about equally as hard as this first sequence, but kind of in its own way. We're going to be abandoning BT once again and doing a strat that was also found by Robert.
70K!
Let's go! Yeah!
70K! Sorry to interrupt. This is very important.
No, it is very important.
We met our milestone. We get to see Sonic's X Shadow Generations by Metroid Prime after this run. Good job, chat. You're awesome.
I just want to say that y'all made quick work of that too. Like, we're not even at the penultimate level of the run and we just hit it. So thank y'all for, you know, enjoying a Titanfall speedrun and also speedrunning your way to 70. Oh, sorry, I'm watching Rippy's screen here. I don't know how you're alive. That was amazing. Nice save.
No!
Oh, wow, you got launched!
Did you get shot?
I got Sapphire Ronin.
Oh my
Rippy
lord.
Rippy entered the stratosphere. Like, that was... So
Those Ronins are brutal.
That was great. Sorry, I just can't believe what I just witnessed. Anyway, thank you for speedrunning, getting us to 70K. That's pretty amazing. This strat that Rippy's going for is also pretty amazing. This is called Lone Wolf. It's named this because we are, you know, you just get out of BT. Normally, this is supposed to be this huge sequence where you're trying to fight and move forward as fast as you can through all of these Titans. But we just abandoned BT, and we have moon boots here, actually, which is pretty cool. You're seeing that same kind of floating movement. And we're just trying to carefully bob and weave our way through all of these Titans. And as you can see, it's very easy to die here. Even though we're on the easiest difficulty, most of these Titans have several abilities that can and will one-shot us or otherwise completely disrupt us. These tones especially can be just snipers. They have this slow-moving single-shot projectile, and they still manage to just hit us out of midair at all times. Rippy was able to looks like successfully navigate that on her second attempt. So nicely done. That is a really difficult strat. In all these areas where you're getting out of your Titan and maneuvering on foot, you know, they weren't really designed to be navigated by the player on foot. And so they can be really weird and difficult with like weird geometry. So Lone Wolf is a super hard strat. That was well done.
Thank you.
I've got some love in for our two runners here. If you've got time for some donations.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a waiting period to sit through here on both screens, so we're chilling.
Perfect. Just let me know if you need to cut me off, do so. We have $20 from Satan herself. Sapphire, you're one of my favorite people I've met through going to GDQ. I've so loved talking about sapphic things with you, geeking out about books, and even being on Frost together. You're going to crush this Titanfall 2 run. Let's get that Shadow Gens, and good luck crying.
Oh, thank you so much, Satan. I actually still have my little Peglo Crash Course certificate that she gave me from SGDQ 24.
I love that. We also have $5 from Muriel. My name is Rippy Pie. Oh, hey, hello. Welcome to my very own run. I'll introduce my friends to you. Oh, no. It's Sapphire. Racing intensifies. Good luck on the race, and I hope Railgun is kind to you both.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you a lot.
I also want to announce that we have just opened a new incentive. This is for the Sonic X Shadow Generations run if met, Metroid Prime will show the Sonic 3 movie DLC level,
Oh,
which is
That sounds
very
pretty cool.
exciting. So we need $1,991 to meet that incentive, which is the year that Sonic was first released.
oh,
So let's get your donations in towards that
Cool.
chat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you all for your donations. Thank you for getting us to 70K. And now on Rippy's screen, we have entered the most loathed level in this speedrun, called the Arc. This level is... It feels like kind of a miracle that it works when you play through it. It's kind of barely held together, especially when you're doing the speed run of it. All of these ships that you're seeing, actually, you're going to have to hit an audio key here, so I'm going to be quiet really quick. Oh, that looks
Oh,
so
I jumped too
close.
early.
So I'll be sure to be quiet when the audio cue comes up. But all of these ships have the way that they're flying left and right, up and down, that influences our momentum here. So this frag boost that we're trying to do is trying to circumvent that. Nice, nicely done. Second try Barker is definitely very acceptable. And even if you're going for a PB, you would take a second try Barker. So we do Barker. That's called Barker skip, and then we this is like early 6-4. Those are both two really important skips that save upwards of 45 seconds when you do them both back to back. And they're both really difficult. There's a lot of RNG and just kind of nonsense that happens in this level with the way that the ships will rotate back and forth, the way that they'll move up and down. Doing Barker skip as well kind of opens up a can of worms for this level as well, where you know, BT was the way that we were originally supposed to get over to the other ship was that BT was supposed to throw us, and like the hitbox for him to throw us is still going to be present on his hand when we end up seeing him later. So now we're going to be seeing several different combat sequences between now and when we reunite with BT. We're basically kind of trying to do a bit of an escort mission here for these allies that we see again on Rippy's screen, the 6-4. We're going to be doing a really big combat sequence where we're trying to kill basically all the enemies that aren't scripted to otherwise like despawn or be killed by the 6-4 as they're known. And yeah, as I mentioned with Barker skip, once we get reunited with BT, there's just a ton of stuff that can go wrong that, you know, we really hope and pray will not go wrong. So
I have more stacking donations.
hit me with the stacking donations.
We have $50 from J Brud TR. Favorite thing to stack? The obvious answer is dollar bills. Specifically,
Wow.
70,000 of them. Let's go.
That's awesome.
We also have $50 from Pitman Lionhouse. Loving this Titanfall 2 race. Keep it up, Rippy and Sapphire. In the house, we stack hats on our lions, and they love it. Let's go Fatales and 70K hype. Less than 3.
And Sapphire entering Lone Wolf now. I'm
Right,
excited.
this one's for you, okay?
This one's for me. I already know what's about to happen. Saf loves to do this thing in this really dangerous section where the ability that you have to cloak and completely, you know, hide yourself from all these dangerous titans, she just doesn't do it. She just doesn't cloak, and it's cool. I feel really normal about it. I usually react to it, you know, very positively. I say, wow,
In a
this is so
normal way.
cool. I'm so happy. I love when you don't cloak. Let me cloak.
The confidence there, those vibes are unmatched.
I can't believe this is like so annoying that you've lived this somehow.
Ooh,
Whoa, that actually,
There
you
we
got
go.
that North Star almost clipped you right there. That was pretty close.
I think it was a tone shot, but yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it is a little bit funnier when you don't cloak. I have to give that.
It's
to you.
way funnier. I just like the aura or something. Boom.
Now on Rippy's
that one
screen
was-
here
that
was
one was for you.
Thank you. I mean, good job too. Like you nailed it. Now on Rippy's screen here is one of the things I'm hoping it's not one of the things I was talking about. Cool. Okay, so Barker skip can cause you to just sometimes like die there for reasons unknown. You'll just like fall through the floor. So I'm really glad that we avoided that. Rippy is also making sure to stand far away from BT's hand so that we don't crash the game, because that hitbox for him to throw you is still there. And so now there's a very specific strat coming up here called Snake Splitter, which this is originally a mechanic that was known by the competitive community, especially the console players that would play Last Titan Standing, where if you hold down, basically when you ADS with that laser shot, if you then just continue shooting with the Snake Splitter, it does like massively increase damage. Again, I don't know exactly all like the technical reasons why this is, because I'm kind of a boomer with this game, and this is definitely one of the newer strats, but it's really, really cool. We were able to melt Viper basically instantly. Nice quick kill on that Scorch. Nicely done. So that is a super fast Viper fight, and something really interesting is about to happen here. We actually ended up doing the Viper fight so fast that we are going to somehow go out of bounds despite staying in the intended play area. In this level of the Ark, there's a big invisible box that the player basically is meant to reside in the entire time. But we've done Viper fight so fast that we've progressed faster than this invisible box is scripted to advance forward as the player advances forward. So what you'll see on Rippy's screen is the game will start artifacting a little bit. So now we're outside of this invisible box, but the box is rapidly catching up with us. So in order to clip back inbound safely and not just die, or did we clip? Oh,
not inbounds. It was a bit of
wow, that's super lucky.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So basically, we were actually just slow enough, just barely slow enough with Viper fight, that the invisible box passed over us as we were regaining control. What's actually kind of wild is Rippy was maybe, you know, half a second
off a soft lock.
half a second away from being caught in an infinite death loop and soft locking. Which probably would have meant you would have had to restart the level, which would have been really interesting. But anyway, wow. Yeah, that was super close. That's always like my biggest fear, is that happening, so wow. Anyway.
Yeah, the Scorchers jumped down in front of my Snake Splitter and kind of ate a few shots. So it was kind of unfortunate.
Also, Sapphire, I'm so sorry. I just realized you're going for Barker, so I'm going to stop yapping.
No, you're all good. You can keep on talking.
Sapphire also going for Barker skip now. You can tell, like, every runner has a kind of a different setup for this. And every runner will tell you that theirs is the proper way to do it.
Oh, mine is not
Nicely
the
done.
proper way to do it. No. I almost got a first try, but I just didn't get a big enough frag boost to make it onto the 6-4 in time.
And a nice Barker in 6-4 from Sapphire as well. The 6-4 skip in particular, or early 6-4, whatever you want to call it, can be super difficult because the approach that the 6-4 take to the ship is random. And so there are sometimes they'll just be going straight up and you just like jump off them and fly off into the sky. It's very annoying.
Is there more double take ammo on battery 3?
That's a good question. I want to say yes.
You should send in your donations to tell me right now.
But yeah, I would say, speaking of donations, if you have any more to read right now, Tazzle, we're gonna have a very long cutscene on Rippy's screen, and that
Awesome.
long fight sequence on Sapphire's.
Perfect. Because we have
There
them
is.
coming in. We have $25 from Shinobi J. I'm always here for more Titanfall 2. Great race from 2 awesome community members. And we are raising money for an awesome and very needed cause. Thank you so much for that donation. We also have $10 from Bobby Berm. I love watching TF2 speedruns, and having 2 of them at once is a dream come true. Great job so far, Rippy and Saf. And shout out to my commentary goat, bryonato.
Yo, thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
I also want to shout out that we have a new incentive, that new incentive open for the Sonic X Shadow Generations run that is coming up next. You donated for it, chat. You're awesome. We have a Tokyo DLC level. So if Metroid Crime will show the Sonic 3 movie DLC level. And I know Crime has been working so hard on this run and is so excited to showcase this to you all. So let's get that incentive met. We currently need $1,856 for that incentive. You can do it, chat. I believe in you.
And chat, I can't believe this. We're on to the final level of Titanfall 2.
How did we get here so fast?
This wonderful journey we have been on is almost coming to a close. as both of our runners kind of reach the final end sequence here. I saw somebody in chat asking, whoa, is cuddling the demon core there a major plot point? Which is like a funny way to phrase that.
Yes.
So yeah, just a little, so yes, it is a major plot point. Just to kind of catch you up, the story of this game is serviceable. It's not why you play it, it's very gameplay driven, but basically the militia found some ancient technology, some ancient alien technology that they were using to fold space and time in on itself in order to destroy entire planets. So basically, they're building like a Death Star, more or less. And that demon core thing that we were cuddling is the power source for their Death Star, which you're now seeing that BT captured. So now they're going to go deliver the Ark, as it's known, to the IMC, and then the IMC is going to destroy the militia planet of Harmony, and oh my gosh, we gotta go stop them, as Blisk does an amazing flip and then clips into the ground.
Flashing light warning coming up as well.
Yeah. Oh, another thing we didn't talk about, by the way, this is my bad. We play on Mandarin because it's faster. It's not in English because it saves like 38 seconds. I probably should have mentioned that at the start, so my bad. Oh, yeah, the IMC found that, not the militia. If I said the militia, I meant the IMC. And yeah, here's the flashing light warning. And it's over.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. It'll happen again soon. Boo.
It's probably also like the second longest cutscene sequence, like from the end of Arc to the start of Fold.
Yeah,
BT one.
I want to say this is like the longest single cutscene in the game. I don't actually know how it compares to the 18-hour cutscene in BT, but it's close for sure.
Yeah.
That's a neat little strat there where this was found by Flotsam years and years and years ago, where if you go backwards into the fire and then move toward BT, it skips about like 5 seconds of waiting for him to talk to you. Again, don't know why that works, but it's a great little 5-second time save. All right, and so BT, given that his current Titan chassis has basically been completely expended of any ability to move, rips off his face, and he's going to deliver us the Seer Kit, which is the Survive, Evade, Resist, Escape Kit. That contains a literal auto-aim pistol that is in the multiplayer for some reason, that knife that we've been using that hacks things.
That we already had on us. And then BT's data core. And so this final level, the fold weapon, is really, really difficult. It's a pretty cool like final mission for a speedrun in that it really kind of challenges everything that you need to be good at in this run. There are like tight hallway sections. There are areas that require like really precise tap strafing. You got to be good at Titan combat. You have to be able to chain crouch kicks over and over and over. It's really, really cool. And it's a very interesting way to end the mission, or sorry, to end the entire game. And it contains, again, one of my favorite strats in all of speedrunning. And speaking of like chaining momentum, I always describe Titanfall as a momentum-based speed game. And that is largely, I think there are a lot of games out there that will call themselves movement-based games. Titanfall really at its core is like, okay, it's cool that you did a bunch of movement tech and now you're going like 80 kilometers an hour. But now how do you preserve that for the next 30 seconds as you navigate these tight hallways and winding cliff faces and everything like that? And so I think that's really where the beauty in this game lies, is being able to chain, do these like wild movement sequences and chain so many things together. I think that's what really sets it apart from a lot of other games. It's super sick.
I don't know if you guys could tell, I just wrote, I heart the National Women's Law Center, who your donations
I could tell. I was about to call it out, actually. What an efficient use of your time there, too. That was right before BT picked you up. That was sick.
Thank you. Yeah, I like writing in the bullets. I've been trying to get better at it. my bullet calligraphy, if you will.
It's true. Sapphire actually DM'd me the other day and was like, can you understand what this says? They have been working on it. They're not joking. So a really cool skip coming up on Rippy's screen. It's not going to look like much, but this is definitely one of the most important skips in Titanfall's history. It's just called Door Skip. There's this door that we have to get through up here, and if you just kind of walk through the top of it, it just opens automatically. There's no real collision there. And this is really important because if we couldn't do that, we would have to either kill all the Titans outside of that door or hope that other enemy Titan kind of like RNG walked backwards into it. I remember when I started running this game, that was like a sequence that was like, you know, almost like a 2-minute difference depending on good or bad RNG. So it's something that I think we just kind of like blow through nowadays in the run, but it is like incredibly important, I think, to Titanfall's ecosystem as a speedrun. So very cool. So this is the final boss fight. We will not be fighting Blisk. We will be fighting Sloan though, who is the Titan or the enemy that just destroyed BT. So we get to get our revenge. This is the only boss fight that's split up into multiple phases. So even though it might look like it, we cannot kill Sloan in any of these individual phases. And we're going to be trying to manage our cooldowns and abilities in a very specific way here in order to get Sloan to behave in a specific way that completes the fight as fast as possible and also maybe allows us to save a little bit of extra time at the end of it. Nicely done there. Looking up when you activate a flame trap causes the flame traps to duplicate in their damage. It's really, really sick. Another one of the many strats we got from the competitive Last Titan Standing community. We're going to use Sword Core here and use all 3 swipes on these Reapers. And now we're trying to look in a specific spot in order to manipulate Sloan to spawn right in front of us. Nice. And we'll know whether or not we got... Okay, we're not going to get pre-charged. That is okay, though. This is still a really, really, really good Sloan fight. Now, if you pay close attention, you will notice that Rippy activated Core at the same time that she began the cutscene here. And this is important. Activating Sword Core as you start the cutscene causes your weapon to be out right here, which is not intentional. I want to be super clear. Having your gun out here is not intended behavior. This only happened because of activating Core and then starting the cutscene at the same time. So what happens here is now our gun is out right here, and Blisk is about to get out and deliver his final monologue. But we have a gun. So this is like one of maybe the coolest skips in any speedrun. I can't believe this works.
Gun plus Blisk equals...
So he just dies. He just evaporates instantly. And what's amazing is not only does this not crash the game or soft lock, it actually skips all 33 seconds of his dialogue and advances the mission.
Flashing lights warning coming up on my screen.
You're fine, Saf. I appreciate you saying that. It manages to skip all 33 seconds of his dialogue and immediately advances the mission. This strat was found by a Reddit user, of all things. One day in my stream, somebody came in and was like, hey, did you see the Reddit post about how you can kill Blisk? So I looked up the post. I followed it. It was only a written description. And much to our surprise and glee, it was a skip and it worked. So shout out to Shot Andy. We now call that skip the Andy shot. Definitely one of my favorite skips in any speedrun. It's awesome. And yes, no more Apex Legends. You know, we're living in the universe now where we got Titanfall 3 instead. Everybody's happy. It's great.
It's so funny because one of his dialogue lines are like, I won't kill you, but you can't kill me either. And then you just murder him.
Yes.
I know we're coming up on the end of the game here soon. Let me know if there's time for just a few more announcements.
Yeah, absolutely. I think once Rippy finishes out the escape sequence here, I think we will have a little bit of time for donations as Sapphire makes her way over to Sloan fight.
I will be
probably about 40 seconds.
Okay, no problem. Let me know. I only can see one of the screens right now, so your help is appreciated.
So yeah, time is coming up here in about 45 seconds. This escape sequence, I swear, you can try and play this thing as safe as you possibly can and you will still die. There's just something about this part of the game. Maybe it's just me. It's really hard. So Rippy is going to be trying to navigate the sequence in which a lot of these different platforms end up spawning in. And we're going to be trying to build up as much speed as possible here. And it looks like Rippy is going for Hyper's Weakscape. Nice. Have to strafe off to the right here to hit the trigger. Did we get it? Nicely done. And time.
GG, Rippy.
GG, Rippy. That was a really... Hyper's Weakscape is really, really difficult. You have to strafe super hard and hit a slant boost for that. That was really well done. So GG, Rippy. Excellent run. Excellent run. we have to we have to know what the final helmet total is as well.
Here's what happens because we saved the Marvin.
Right. Yep. There's the planet exploding with the sad Marvin on it that
I forgot about that.
Y'all decided to let live.
Just look away. It's totally fine. You did the right thing, chat. Raising all that money for the National Women's Law Center. We don't know if the robot was actually sad. Maybe it got its inputs mixed up and it was upside down.
It had a sad face on it. I'm pretty
but maybe the head was upside down.
Hey,
It was blue.
The world will never
blue is
know.
associated with sadness.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, if you want to get some announcements out there, Tozzle, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, I wanted to shout out chat for raising $70,000 for the National Women's Law Center. That is absolutely amazing. So, great job, friends. But we have some more work to do. We've got that open Tokyo DLC level incentive. That is for Sonic X Shadow Generations. We need to raise $1,991 to see that extra Sonic 3 movie DLC level. I want to see it, chat. I'm thinking, looking at the 1991 release date, how about we do a $19.91 train? And in your $19.91 donations, tell me your favorite thing that happened in 1991 and why it was Sonic. Thank you so much. I also have some lovely donations for our runners here. We have $50 from Blue Mage 27034. Titanfall 2, what a game. Great job, runners, and trans rights.
Trans rights.
We also have a stacking donation. Thank you so much. We have $10 from Ye Old Joy. Are we still doing cat crimes? I like stacking hats on my cats, and I can assure you that some stacks are dangerous no matter how short or tall they are.
All right, and now here comes Saf into Sloan fight. I'm really hoping. So this pre-charge strat I was talking about is. I'm not sure if have we fully determined whether or not it's like at least some RNG, like it's like somewhat random.
I think I'm pretty sure it's some RNG.
Yeah, because I went really fast in a practice like that bit of it earlier, and I didn't get it, and I was really confused.
I've also had some very slow clears that have somehow gotten it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I got it in my 145 whenever I got that way back when, and I did a very bad Sloan fight in that one.
I really enjoy the Sloan boss fight because it requires a lot. You have to manage your abilities well. You have to manipulate all the spawns properly. It's definitely like it's as far as like a speedrun goes within the context of the run, it is like the perfect final boss fight. It's not without like its own kind of annoying issues that come up in any sort of like speedrun scenario, but it's really, really dope. And Saf has been doing a great job with this one. There's the flame trap duplication I was talking about. And if we can start pulling out I think we got it.
That should be it. 97%. So yeah, that was.
We're looking for that subtitle at the top of the screen that says 97%. Yeah, and if you start pulling out the arc injector before that happens, you'll notice on Saf's screen that
when I can see it.
Yeah, the fold weapon is already it's already pre-charged. It'll be glowing this kind of like bright orangish yellow, which you'll notice was different from Rippy's run. So again, not entirely sure why specifically this works, but if you do Sloan fight really, really fast, and it seems to be determined by that second phase where we have the Reapers that fall down, and we do the 3 swipes on them, it saves, I think it's like 12 seconds or something? I don't remember how much.
12, 14, something around there.
I thought it was 9.1 with the dialogue.
It saves a lot of time. So it's really, really cool. You get like actively benefited by going fast, and you just get to skip an extra bit of waiting, so it's pretty sick. Lovely that we get to see Andy shot twice.
Hold my weapon.
Yep. When the weapon is folding.
When the weapon is folding.
So yeah, you'll notice on Saf's screen here, some of the... basically, she's going to get shot out of the fold weapon instantly. And you'll notice that the music on their screen, or the sound effects, are kind of playing as if it's still waiting for the fold weapon to charge up. So this isn't like, it's very clear that this isn't necessarily intended behavior, which, I don't know. So many things about this game fascinate me.
And it makes a funny noise whenever it shoots you out.
And I would say, Tazzle, you have time for, I would say, one more donation while we're kind of waiting for BT to throw himself into the fold weapon and sacrifice himself and save everybody.
You got it. $10 from Celestina Star. Heck yeah, a great run and a great cause. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for your donation.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Sap, best of luck with the escape sequence.
Oh, you know, what can I say? I'm just gonna, I'll go for Hyper's Weak Escape. I don't think I've ever hit it ever before, but
I literally lost a PB to going for it when I haven't hit it in a long time just the other day.
Yeah.
So, you know, Godspeed.
yeah, you know,
I
just
believe.
vibes. I am pure of heart. Hyper's Weak Escape cannot hurt me.
So Hyper's Weakscape, what it requires is this second like sequence right here. You have to be strafing upwards of like, you have to build up around about this much, like 45 to 48 kilometers an hour in order to get to this platform in time to get a big speed boost off of it. It looks like Sap didn't quite get the speed, but still got the line, which is awesome. And time.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, that was aesthetically pleasing.
GG's.
On my personal timer, I got a 125.55.
That is aesthetically
Very
pleasing.
nice.
Rippy also got a 122.44
Okay.
for their run. So we got a couple aesthetically
We're, like,
pleasing times.
matching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good work, team. That was
Yeah, I'm
awesome. Honestly, so fun. The movement, oh, so good. I could watch it all day.
There is no movement game like Titanfall 2. This game has the best movement. Play it and then argue with me if you want. But it's great.
Yeah, in
It's
terms
great.
of all FPSs out there, I think none match this. And that's a bold claim.
Final shout-outs from y'all.
Yeah, Rippy, do you just want to go first? Because I have a list and it's a little long.
I'll just shout out the Titanfall 2 community because I joined in 2020, came back at the end of 2023 and kind of started running 80% and been so welcoming. When I have any issues, whatever, I hit up the Discord, hit up someone else, and they're like, yo, maybe you have tried this, and it's like really quick, really like positive vibes. More specifically, I want to thank Zoochable for getting me into this game and introduced me to
Shout out Zooch!
shout out to Zooch for to getting me into Titanfall 2 and like the community and everything. Shout out to everyone who donated to FF, to the Women's Law Center, to everything like that. And thank you so much for having me on.
So first of all, I want to thank Brian Rippy for being here. Rippy and I both submitted separately, and we got asked to do it as a race. And I couldn't have thought of a better way to basically just show it off on Fatales. I also want to shout out Viz, Zweek, and Smitty for all helping me start to run the game during our community races back when I started running. I would like to thank everyone in the Bryohead server for hanging out and being awesome and playing Halo with us and stuff. I would also like to shout out the TF2SR for being a very welcoming, wonderful community full of wonderful people and just some really cool folks. I would also like to shout out just a couple of some of my best friends that I've made via speedrunning, like Gabby, Blackheart Wings, Sweet Peebs, bryonato here, so many wonderful people that I've met through GDQ and Fatales. I would also like to shout out my girlfriend Bunny and my roommate Cass for putting up with me. And then I would also like to shout out the Lady Arcaders for being another wonderful community I get to be a part of. And that's all for me. I would also
Lovely.
And the National Women's Law Center.
And I'll make mine quick. I just want to say thank y'all for letting me commentate this. I've been looking forward to this basically since y'all told me this was happening. So
No, thank you for being here.
I have a ton of respect and love for both of you. So it was truly my pleasure to be a part of this. And Tazzle, thanks for being an awesome host.
Oh,
Thanks
you're
for being
so welcome.
Tazzle.
Thank you for having
Yeah.
me. I had such a good time. I really enjoyed this. Just even learning about the run, I now want to take part. These looks like so much fun.
We'd love to have you.
Hey, we always would.
Cool.
Anyways, thank you all so much again.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy the rest of Fatales, everybody. And good luck, Prime.
Go Crime!